Hello and welcome to Arithmetic. In this lesson, I'll be covering the basics of vectors. I'll be showing you what a vector is, how to draw vectors, how to write vectors, and how to perform basic arithmetic with vectors. Now, it's going to be handy if you've got some squared paper, but if you don't have any, there's loads of sites where you can print some off. So what are we waiting for? Grab yourselves a pen and some paper, and let's get started. So the first question is, what is a vector? Now, a vector is a little bit like a coordinate, okay? But the coordinates tell you where a point is relative to the origin, whereas a vector tells you where one point is relative to another, or how you get from one point to another, all right? So let's just take this example over here. I've got the point A and I've got the point B. Now, if I want to describe how to get from A to B using a vector, there's certain rules I need to follow. And the first rule is, you always go left or right first. Okay, so that's the direction you go in first, and then you go either up or down. Okay, but left and right, up and down, have positive and negative signs with them. So just like coordinates, so imagine these arrows here are like a coordinate grid. Your positive directions are right and up, and your negative directions are left and down. Okay, so those are your negative directions, and these are your positive directions. So here, what's happening is I'm going 6 squares to the right, okay, so that's a positive 6, okay, and then I go 3 squares up, and that's a positive 3, okay. Now the way vectors are written, they're written in vertical brackets, okay, so coordinates are written in horizontal brackets separated by a comma, but vectors are written in vertical brackets without any commas or any lines in between them, and people often write them with a line like a fraction, so they might write 2, 3 like that, okay, but that isn't the way to write vectors. So for example, if I want to write the vector 3 to the right and 4 down, okay, so a cross goes first, okay, that goes at the top, so 3 to the right, that's a positive vector, so that's just written as a 3, and 4 down, and down is a negative direction, so that's written as minus 4. So 3 right and 4 down can be written as 3 minus 4. And in reverse, what this means is minus 7 forward. This means 7 to the left and then 4 up. Okay, so it's important that you know which your positive directions are and which your negative directions are. So make a note of what you see there, and then we'll move on to some examples. Now, I did say we we're going to do some examples, but I think you can cope with these questions quite easily. Remember, you go across first, okay, and if you're going right, it's positive. If you're going left, it's negative, and then you go up or down. Okay, remember, up is positive, down is negative, and follow the direction of the arrows. Okay, so you're going from, for example, here, you're going from here to here, not the other way around. Now, the other thing I forgot to mention is when you're writing a vector, we normally assign it a letter. Okay, and that letter is either written in bold or is written with a little line underneath it to distinguish it from other things. Okay, so whenever you're writing a vector, write it with a line underneath it, because writing in bold is a bit of a nuisance with a normal pen. Okay, so just write it with a line underneath it. Anyway, pause the video, give these a go, and I'll put up the answers in a bit. Right, so here we go. So vector A, so we go 4 to the right and 2 up, so that would be 4, 2. Vector B, we go 3 to the right and 4 down, so 3 to the right and 4 down, so that would be a minus 4. Vector C, we don't go across at all, so that's 0. And we go 4 down, so that would be minus 4. Vector D, now this time we go to the left, so we go 5 to the left, so that's minus 5. And then we go 3 down, so minus 3. E, we go 3 to the left, so that's minus 3, but we don't go up or down, so that's 0. And F, we go 3 to the left, so that's minus 3, and then we go 5 squares up. So that's a positive 5. Okay, so hopefully you didn't struggle with those. And what we'll do next is we'll go on to do some arithmetic with the vectors as well. So the next thing we'll be doing is some arithmetic with vectors. Okay, we'll be looking at 2 things. The first of those is multiplying a vector by a scalar. Okay, so you can scale up a vector. And then we're going to look at adding and subtracting vectors and multiples of vectors. So let's say we've got this vector A, and that's 2, 1. B is minus 3, 4, and C is minus 2, minus 3. So if I wanted to do 3A, for example, that actually means 3 multiplied by this vector. Okay, and all you do is you multiply the numbers in this vector by 3. Okay, and that would equal 6, 3. Now let's see how that would work, with a diagram. So if I've got 2, 1, 2, 1 would be that vector there. And basically what this is saying is I want 3 of those. Okay, so you travel in that direction 3 times. So there's another one, and there's another one. Okay, and overall you can see gone 6 across and 3 up. Okay, that's 6 across and 3 up. So 6 to the right and 3 up. So we can also add vectors together. So let's say we wanted to do A plus B. Okay, so A is 2, 1 plus minus 3, 4. So just add them together like normal numbers. So 2 add minus 3, that makes minus 1. 1 add 4 is 5. So let's see how that would work in a diagram. So let's imagine this is the point where we're starting. So we're going 2, 1. So 2, 1 would take us to here. Okay, and minus 3, 4. So from here, minus 3, 4 would be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. That would take us to there. And what this is telling us is rather than going there and there, what we can do is go straight from there to there. Okay, if you look at that vector, that is minus 1, 5. Okay, so that's how it works in pictorial terms. Now what we have to be really careful with is subtracting a vector. Right, so let's say we had A take away C. Right, now I've got to be really careful here. A take away C, A is 2, 1, take away C, which is minus 2, minus 3. Okay, so we need to be careful with our arithmetic here. So we've got 2 take away minus 2. So if you're taking away a negative number, it's the same as adding it. So that would be 4. And 1 take away minus 3 is also 4. Okay, but let's see how that works in pictorial form. So let's say this is our starting point. So vector A is 2, 1. So that would take us to here. So that's vector A. And vector B is minus 2, minus 3. Okay, minus 2 from here. So 2 to the right, 2 to the left, and 3 down would take us here. Okay, I'm going to put this here like that. But what it's telling us to do is take away minus 2, 3. So instead of going in that direction, we're actually going in this direction over here. Okay, so that's what we're actually doing. We're going the opposite way to C. So if this is A and this is C, it's telling us to go along minus C instead. Right? So overall, we've gone from here to here. Okay, and that's the equivalent of 4 to the right and 4 up, which is what our vector is. Okay, now if that doesn't make much sense to you, don't worry about it too much for now. Okay, just make sure you can do the arithmetic, because that's the important part. Right, a couple more examples. Let's say we had something like 2b add 5c. Okay, so if I want to do that, I'd write 2b, so 2 times by 2, 1. Now you can write like that, you don't need to put the time symbol in there. Add 5 times c, which is minus 2, minus 3. Okay, and then what I'd do is I'd work out each of these separately. So 2 times 2, 1 makes 4, 2. Add, now 5 times this makes minus 10, minus 15. Alright, so I need to do 4 add minus 10. Now remember, that's the same as 4 take away 10. That's minus 6. 2 add minus 15 is the same as 2 take away 15, which is minus 13. Okay, so hopefully that's made sense. And let's do one more. Let's say we had 3a take away 4b. Alright, so that would be 3 times a take away 4 times b, which is that. And this becomes 6, 3. And this becomes takeaway. Remember, that's that takeaway there. This becomes, so ignore that takeaway for now because we've already dealt with it over here. 4 times minus 3 is minus 12, and 4 times 4 is 16. So you've got to be really careful with your signs. Okay, 1, you might miss them out. 2, you might include too many. Okay, so just be really careful and follow what you've done. 6 takeaway minus 12. That's the same as 6 add 12, which is 18. And 3 takeaway 16 gives me minus 13. Alright, so that's that. So Make a note of all that if you need to. Rewind it to the other examples if you need to as well. And what I'll do is I'll put up some questions very similar to these and give you some vectors to work out. Right, there's 5 questions for you to try. Pause the video and I'll put up the answers in a little while. Right, so I'm about to reveal the answers in 3, 2, 1, and here they are. Okay, so hopefully you've got those right. The first 3 you should have got right. You may have made a mistake with a negative number in part C, but just check through your arithmetic to make sure you've not done that. When it comes to parts D and E, okay, there's more places where you could have made mistakes, and it's all about being able to deal with negative numbers. Okay, so what you've got to do is got to make sure you're confident dealing with negative numbers and that you're paying attention when you're dealing with them as well. Right, that's all there is for today. What I'll do in the next video is I'll show you how to do some basic vector geometry, as well as talking about parallel and perpendicular vectors. And yeah, I hope to see you next time. Goodbye for now.